1 million, more states rolling out plans to open up. Texas gives the green light to restaurants, movie theaters, even malls, while others like New York plan to extend their stay-at-home orders. The hard-hit state's still battling 1,000 new hospitalizations per day. All this while the White House unveils a new testing plan, putting the states under pressure to meet massive testing goals. A plan critics say still falls far short. The White House Task Force's head of testing joins us live. And also this morning, the concerns about reopening college campuses around the country. The president of one major university also here live on why he says students should return in the fall.
Race for a Cure, the popular heartburn medicine under investigation as a way to fight coronavirus. One essential worker says her condition improved dramatically the morning after taking it. And why some doctors are now looking at whether female hormones could help men battling the disease.
Safety in the skies. That alarming video of a packed plane despite the pandemic. Now the top flight attendants union calling for more protections, and the first major airline ordering all passengers to wear face coverings, and more about what may be the future of air travel.
Zoom warning, the new alert about the popular video conference program, why Homeland Security is issuing a warning your company meetings could be vulnerable to foreign spies.
Sold out. Big news for Americans scrounging for household supplies and cleaning products when those empty shelves will finally be restocked.
And supermarket superheroes, Brad Paisley, surprising these amazing frontline workers. The country superstars saluting their dedication and singing their praises.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. And Robin, I know you got some great news out of my home state of Texas.
Always love starting this way, Michael. Let's take a look at this moment. After battling coronavirus for nearly 40 days, a Texas man finally released from Knapp Medical Center, reunited with his family. See that boxing glove right there? What a fighter. And Amy, we hear that there at that hospital, when a patient recovers from coronavirus, they call it Code Rocky.
Oh, I love it. And you know, he is not alone because more than 111,000 Americans have recovered from the virus. As the total number of confirmed cases in the United States nears that 1 million mark, 23,000 new cases just yesterday. But in one of our major cities, this is an important milestone. And I know, Robin, you're listening to this for the first time in over a month. New Orleans went 24 hours with no new deaths from COVID-19. Great news indeed, George.
Boy, that is such good news, Amy. And we are going to begin, based on all that, with the latest moves to reopen the country. Some states are taking significant steps, others keeping lockdowns in place, even extending them while laying out plans to relax restrictions in the coming weeks. Our chief national affairs correspondent, Tom Yamas, tracking it all from the Javits Center in New York. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. And we're out here this morning because Governor Andrew Cuomo has asked the president to keep the makeshift hospital here open and on standby. Governor Cuomo fears a possible second wave of the coronavirus, but also the possibility of a collision of virus come the flu season in the fall. This as several businesses are opening in some states, and new research shows Americans are on the move.
This morning, the push to reopen America coming straight from the president.
There's a hunger for getting our country back, and it's happening faster than people would think.
But some governors say they still need help when it comes to testing. The White House on Monday releasing a plan touted as a blueprint to do just that. An administration official saying they plan to give governors the ability to test 2% of their residents per month, but the onus to do that still falls on the states. Critics say the plan doesn't offer ways to fix the supply chain or expand lab testing. The president also dodging questions about his statement last week when he suggested injecting disinfectants as a solution to battle the coronavirus. States then reporting a spike in calls about whether the disinfectant kills COVID-19 in the body.
Take any responsibility?
No, I don't. No, I can't imagine.
The president's comments come as new research suggests Americans are suffering from what experts call quarantine fatigue. Using anonymous cell phone location data, the University of Maryland is keeping track of how far and how often Americans are traveling during the pandemic. On Easter Sunday, researchers say the number of people staying home reached a record high. But almost 2 weeks later, data shows social distancing has reached its lowest level since March 20th. The break with stay-at-home orders comes as several states are moving to lift theirs or roll them back. On Friday in Texas, retail stores, restaurants, museums, libraries, and malls can open with 25% capacity. In Ohio, a rollout plan that starts with non-elective medical procedures, dental offices, and veterinarians all open for business.
I think we found the spot that is most likely to cause less damage, more likely to cause good. But it's a risk.
But other states not ready to ease restrictions. New Jersey's stay-at-home order extended indefinitely.
We need to ensure that we have a robust and fully functioning healthcare system ready to meet the challenges ahead.
In New York, where there are still 1,000 new hospitalizations a day, Governor Cuomo saying he will extend New York's pause order in many parts of the state and preparing for the fall flu season and possible second wave of COVID-19.
The facilities that were built, I spoke to the president about leaving them in place until we get through the flu season. God forbid we need extra capacity again.
The work in New York still taking a profound toll on the healthcare workers on the front lines. The medical director of the emergency department at New York Presbyterian Allen Hospital, Dr. Lorna Breen, dying by suicide. Dr. Breen had contracted the virus herself, recovered, and went back to work. Her father telling the New York Times, make sure she's praised as a hero, because she was.
Another painful reminder that this is still far from over. Another headline we want to mention this morning involves colleges and universities, so many wondering if they will be open in the fall. One major university, Harvard, with a very blunt assessment saying they will be open this fall, but the learning, all of it or some of it, would be done remotely. Michael?
All right, thank you so much there, Tom. As some states relax their lockdown, there is major uncertainty about reopening colleges and universities around the country this fall. And joining us now is Purdue University President Mitch Daniels, who's also a former governor of Indiana, who last week announced plans to welcome students back to the campus this fall. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. You describe Purdue as a city of more than 50,000. So how can you reopen the school safely?
We'll have to do it under very, very different conditions. I will point out that city, which you mentioned, is unusual in this respect. Over 70% of its residents on a daily basis are under the age of 35. And therefore, the data is very, very clear at essentially no lethal risk from this disease. Our problem, and it's a big one, will be to see if we can devise ways to protect those who are vulnerable, those who are older, those who have various associated comorbidities from the virus. And it'll take every day between now and the fall to make those preparations and those changes, and that's why we are trying to start now.
But I know you just said that 80% are 35 and under, but the other 20%, they're still vulnerable. Not only are they just the students there, but it's also the faculty, some other people who work there who are at risk as well. What would you say to them about, okay, the school's going to open, you are at risk. What is the plan that you have to protect them as well?
Michael, that's exactly the point we've made to them. If you read our letter. Listen, Michael, we are here for our students, and our students in overwhelming numbers are saying they want to be here. Our applications set another record this year. Acceptances of our offers have set a record, which surprised us. And I'm hearing every day from students who want to know, will we make arrangements so that they can pursue their education and get their lives started on the schedule they wanted? So the whole challenge for us, or the biggest challenge, is exactly as you said. What do we do to protect our faculty and staff, that significant number of them who would be at greater risk? And we'll make so many changes, have to make so many changes to the size of classes, the venue of classes, dining and residential arrangements, and everything with that goal in mind. We think we can do it, But we don't pretend to have all the answers. We're working on them very hard right now.
Because I know social distancing will be tough because kids share bedrooms, they share bathrooms, common areas, lunch areas, and all those different things. Harvard University said it cannot guarantee they will reopen in a traditional way this fall. What makes you feel like what makes you so much more confident that you can reopen your campus?
We're not guaranteeing anything. We're just saying we have a can-do attitude at Purdue. You know, we're known for engineering and science, but we've always said that we want every graduate, whatever they study, to leave here with as a problem solver, someone prepared to try to tackle the challenges of life, make a better world. And that's what we're saying we're trying to do now on behalf of 40,000 students who are telling us they want to be here and want us to make that possible and safe for them and for those around them.
And have you been talking to other college presidents? And if so, do they have a similar plan like you do?
Well, we're hearing from a lot of people. And again, we don't pretend to have a plan yet, although we have many, many ideas. A faculty-led group, including some of really the world's premier biologists and public health experts, has been working on options. We'll be looking at them very soon. We're not prescribing, and we never do at Purdue, anything we're doing for anyone else. We're trying to make the best decisions for our students and our institution. If we think we've learned anything, we'll gladly share it. But for the moment, we're in a planning mode and in an analysis mode, and therefore not holding ourselves out as world's experts on any of this.
All right, we appreciate your time, Mr. Daniels. Thank you so much and good luck in this upcoming school year. We really appreciate
Thank you very much.
All right, Robin.
All right, Michael, thank you. Now to the urgent search for a treatment for coronavirus. Several existing medications are now being studied, including the active ingredient in a popular over-the-counter heartburn drug. Eva Pilgrim joins us now with more on that. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Yeah, researchers are looking into all the options, following the scientific clues, hopeful one will lead to a treatment.
This morning, the popular over-the-counter heartburn drug famotidine, the active ingredient in Pepcid, is getting a lot of attention.
We're not using conventional, what we call Pepcid or over-the-counter reflux doses.
Doctors at New York's Northwell Health are giving some patients the drug at 9 times the strength intravenously, at times coupled with hydroxychloroquine, that controversial anti-malaria drug. The basic theory, famotidine may act like a decoy, throwing a wrench into the virus machinery, limiting its ability to spread through the body. The study started after doctors in China noticed that patients who just happened to be on the medicine fared better in their fight against COVID.
It was like a Mack truck hit me.
Christine from Long Island, an essential worker, says she tested positive for COVID-19. Her brother, a biologist, after consulting a doctor, suggested she take famotidine.
At noon, my breathing, the shortness of breath and the fever had gone away.
Meanwhile, researchers at Yale will soon begin a clinical trial looking into ibudilast, an asthma drug. Scientists exploring its potential for treating acute respiratory distress syndrome, a potentially deadly lung condition popping up among some stricken with COVID-19. As the virus is proving more deadly for men than women, some experts in Long Island and Los Angeles are also beginning to look into 2 hormone treatments to fight the virus.
And it's important to remember these are all potential treatments. Scientists say at this point they don't know yet if these potential treatments will actually work. Amy?
All right, Eva Pilgrim, thank you very much. Dr. Jennifer Ashton joins us now. And Dr. Ashton, let's talk about Eva's report. It appears that these Chinese doctors stumbled upon this potential treatment by accident. Is that common? Do we often find or discover new treatments this way?
Absolutely, Amy, and that's the way penicillin was discovered. But we have to remember when you're talking about an off-label use for something like this in critically ill or seriously ill patients, you have to balance risk versus benefit. First, do no harm. And I really worry when we hear these anecdotal reports of one patient was helped, one patient felt better. In medicine and science, we base our decisions based on hundreds and thousands of patients. So not ready for prime time yet.
Yeah, some important perspective there, Dr. Jen Ashton. Thank you very much. Well, now to new concerns about Zoom. Homeland Security warning the popular video conferencing program is vulnerable to foreign spies, urging organizations to consider the risk before using it. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington, D.C. with more on this. Good morning, Pierre.
Amy, good morning. That's right. Today, Homeland Security is warning law enforcement that Zoom, the highly popular video conferencing service, now 200 million users strong, could be used to eavesdrop on U.S. citizens or for espionage. Homeland Security officials are especially worried about China because Zoom did some of their development there, and Homeland Security claims that China has access to Zoom servers and could exploit them. But overnight, Zoom telling ABC News that the U.S. government's intelligence is heavily misinformed, and they claim that China's workers do not have the type of access that would allow them to spy. George?
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to the race for the White House and Joe Biden preparing to announce the team that will help him choose a running mate as new polls show him leading nationally and in key states. Mary Bruce is tracking all the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, Joe Biden is now looking to narrow his search for a vice president, but already the public auditions are well underway. There are plenty of his plenty of his previous rivals who are now potential vice presidential candidates, including Senators Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris. They are both now out actively campaigning for Joe Biden. He has said that he will be picking a woman to be his vice president, and while he's been at home in Delaware, he's actually been interviewing some of his potential picks in his new podcast. He recently heaped praise on Senator Amy Klobuchar, and he's been reaching out to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer as she tackles this crisis. And then there is former Georgia governor candidate Stacey Abrams, who is taking a very different approach. She is actually actively campaigning for the VP job. Joe Biden has said that he will have his official search committee in place by Friday, and he has hinted that he could announce his pick in June. Robin.
Many anxious to see who that will be. All right, Mary, thank you. We have the latest now on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, not seen in public for weeks. President Trump saying he has, quote, a very good idea about his health, but adding he cannot talk about it. Martha Raddatz is in Washington, has the latest on all that for us. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Robin. President Trump managed to deepen the mystery about Kim Jong-un, saying he knows, relatively speaking, how Kim is doing. But a senior U.S. defense official told me in blunter terms that the stories of Kim's death are hogwash. But the official added that something is going on. And although we haven't seen Kim in weeks, satellite images from 38 North have spotted what appears to be Kim's train, his preferred mode of transportation, at one of the family compounds. So could he be hiding out to just avoid COVID-19? But none of this intelligence is solid proof until he appears in public. The speculation will continue. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Martha. And we are following a lot of headlines this morning, including the crucial issue of testing for COVID. The White House announcing that new plan to help states. The task force's testing czar is joining us live.
And then sold out supplies, when you can expect those hard to find items back on the shelves. But first, let's go to Ginger.
This to the severe. Yes, Amy, severe storms blowing through Dallas. Thanks to WFAA for this image of driving through the city this morning. Hail was falling all the way back to Arlington. Really, tornadoes from last Friday. Amazing image. And wanted to quickly share the severe weather threat today stretches all the way from East Texas up to Tulsa into the Quad Cities. Let's get to the Tuesday trivia, sponsored by Fitbit.
To all of you doing your part, on the front lines or at home, turning those living rooms into gyms, getting creative in the kitchen, taking a minute for yourself, and trying to get a good night's sleep. Thank you for doing what you can. We're all in this together, so here's a little something to help.
Good Tuesday morning. Storm Watch 7 on your side, tracking rain chances yet again. Today, it's a low chance of a little bit of rain and a low chance even tomorrow. It'll come late, but notice Thursday, a high chance, looking like a washout where we could possibly have some heavy weather, some flash flooding with 1 to 2 inches of rain and maybe even some storms. So get out today, take the small umbrella and the jacket. Temperatures will be in the 50s to around 60 degrees today. Lower 70s tomorrow, and then back to the 60s Thursday. Again, heavy weather moving through.